One of the questions that I get asked the most is why I rarely show anything about my real job. And the answer is actually very simple. I don't think that my employer would appreciate it if I were to be getting paid to do the job that I do while also filming content for my side gig. I just think that that could be a problem right there, and I am not interested in losing my job. So that's why I usually don't show anything at my work. But today's gonna be a little bit different because I still do some side work on occasion. And I have a very interesting job today that I think will be kind of just cool to see. Now, this video is sponsored by Fluke. Now, this really works out well because I would use my Fluke stuff anyway to do a job like this. We're gonna go to an old house that was built in the 1800s. Here in Connecticut, there's a lot of old homes and a lot of them need service upgrades. I've done a ton for side work. This house actually needs a panel upgrade, has one of the first breaker panels ever on the market after we switched over from glass fuses to breakers, and it's old. It needs to be replaced. So we're gonna actually do that. But first we have to do a lot of investigating to figure out what's going on with this panel before we can make it safe and upgrade it to a modern day panel. So that's what we're gonna do. And I hope you come along with me and check it out. All right, so now I gotta figure out what I need to bring. I mean, obviously you don't wanna bring the entire toolkit because that'll take forever. And you know, getting these things down into a basement and then back out, it's a pain in the neck. You wanna bring as little as possible. So actually, I ended up getting rid of my old tool bag, which I showed you in the last tool video, and I got a new one, which is kind of the more tote series. And you know, I like the backpacks and everything like that, and maybe I'll get one someday, but I like this one for right now. So here's what I'm gonna bring with me. All right, big flathead, little flathead, my broken 11-in-1 regular old Phillips head. You guys busted my stone so much about this. I call them angle cutters. They're actually diagonal cutters, and I still don't want to say the name of them because I may get demonetized, but gonna bring those. And I actually liked these so much from the giveaway that I did that I bought another pair for myself, so those are coming as well. Trusty, cheap lineman pliers. Old trusty, rusty channel lock pliers. 25-foot Fat Max adjustable wrench. You know, I got this at like I think I got that at like a tag sale or something. Torpedo level, because I will be putting in a new panel. Allen keys, because who knows when I'm gonna encounter. I just like to have a speed square just in case. Plus they weigh nothing. Duct tape, just because you never know. I mean, this is one of those things that's just so handy. I always keep it with me. Hammer, definitely gonna need a headlamp. Tick tracer, absolutely must have. This is the first line of defense, just to see where power is. I already have Sharpies in there, but you know, you can never have too many. And because I already know I'm gonna be using aluminum, I need a little bit of Penetrox. Some wire markers, because I'll have to pull some THHN just to extend the existing circuits. Safety glasses, because you know what? If you really think that these don't matter, when you're pulling old wires, even new wires, those things have a tendency to spring back. And I'm not catching a sharp piece of copper in the eyeball. Now, I've already showed you my meter bag, and this is, you know, this keeps my baby inside of it. This is one of my favorite meters ever. But I actually want to show you something else. So back from my days as a mechanic, I actually still have the first meter, my first Fluke meter that I ever got. And everything's still here. I mean, I even still have the booklet and everything like that. You know, this thing is all beat up, but it still works, and it's great. I mean, this is a testament to how when you buy the right stuff, it just lasts forever, and that's why I still use Fluke to this day. Now, this meter kind of does everything, which is why I'm bringing it. This is the Fluke 378 FC. This even has a power quality indicator on it and stuff, so I can do a lot of diagnosing with this and map out where everything's going currently. That way I can also give the homeowners kind of an idea as to what the previous service was doing. In my opinion, it doesn't get any better than this meter. This does everything I want and more. Now, yeah, that's a very expensive meter, and you don't necessarily need such an expensive meter to get the job done. As a matter of fact, I want to show you this little guy right here. So this is sort of a great first pass high-speed version of the 378. Now the 378 is great, but it has all kinds of things you have to connect up to it, and you know, there's a lot of capability. But if what you're looking to do is quickly get somebody a quote or just have an idea of what you're working with, this right here will do that job as well. Matter of fact, it's so high speed, it even comes with a belt-mounted holster so you can like quick draw. Okay, I got my batteries cooking for my drill. I got some THHN right here, and then I got this guy right here, which is actually, it may seem like a convenience, but this is actually gonna be used to dry the paint. When I put the fireproof paint on the panel board, this is gonna help me dry that out. It's also kind of nice to have a little bit of air movement. This thing, it goes all day. Okay, so the power comes in here, goes up to this meter, comes out of that meter into this giant disconnect. This disconnect then goes down to this trough, which comes up, bypasses this, goes into this meter socket, which then came down and metered this separately, which was the electric heat. It's then bugged off of here, which feeds this panel, which is metered by this meter, which is actually still active, which is kind of wild. And then that there is the hot water disconnect. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take out both of these here, and I'm going to put one panel here, remove this, remove this, remove this. And actually they're gonna have a lot more room for other things they may want over here, like a time clock or something like that. But we're basically just gonna clean this up so that it looks halfway decent. Now let me show you one of the coolest things about my favorite meter over here and why I love it so much. So I can actually hang this here. This has a number of different little magnetic attachments where you can hang your meter. And then the leads are long enough that I can go over here and I can do all of this testing without having to move my meter around. And these are really nice leads. They're silicone leads, so they don't, you know, they're nice and flexible. But the cool thing is if I wanted to test continuity or anything else, it's very, very easy to do with this meter. I love having long leads on a meter. Now, one of the first things that I'll do is I'll draw out and map out the existing service. This just really helps down the line in case something goes awry. You have something to reference back to. One of the problems here is that these are old flathead screws and they are rusted. I can't even get them out. See that? So basically I gotta disassemble this thing from the top. Still a pain in the neck. There are definitely stakes at hand when you shut off power to a house, and I mean like literal stakes. One time I shut off power to a house not knowing that they had a whole bunch of very high-end beef in the refrigerator that then went bad. All right, that's it. So now we're gonna actually take this all off of here, paint it with a new coat of fireproof paint, which unfortunately takes a little while to dry, so it's gonna take a little longer than I wanted. I've spent probably the equivalent of years of my career in basements. The damp, the cold, at this point it just sort of feels like home. I've had great conversations with people. I've discovered, unfortunately, that somebody who I was working with was severely addicted to drugs. I've gotten the call that I was going to be a father while working in a basement. I can trace back so much of my life to working at panels or pulling wires or diagnosing things in basements. And, you know, if you're going to be an electrician, if you're going to be a plumber, if you're going to be working in people's homes, a lot of times you're going to be in either the attic or the basement. And it helps to get comfortable with those places. It's not easy. There's a lot of weird stuff. But, hey, it is what it is. Well, there you go. There's the new panel. Now, actually, I'm going to replace this disconnect over here, but these guys may want to put in a generator. So if they put in a generator, we're actually going to want to swap that out with a transfer switch. So I'm going to leave that for right now, but with the intent of coming back and changing that over for a new project. So there you go, all upgraded and safe with modern conveniences that'll hopefully last for another 50 years. I mean, who knows what they're gonna come up with in the next 50 years. I probably won't be around to see it. And, you know, thanks to Fluke for sponsoring this video. You know, I use their stuff anyway. I use it in my regular job in very high-end installations. Matter of fact, we just did a neuroscience center, which is equipped with Fluke components in it to be able to diagnose it from the outside. So, you know, they do a lot of really, really high-end stuff. And the way I see it with Fluke is it's almost like getting a super duper high-end brand that has all of this know-how and very, very sophisticated equipment and using that information to do simple things like a panel install. So I'm very proud to have them as a sponsor. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.